Good evening. I wanted to follow up with you after the last video. I watched it back, and it's always a good thing to reflect upon things that I've heard myself say. And I wanted to touch upon blame for a moment, because in that video I said that I didn't blame the person who gave me a lot of trauma and a lot of pain in my life. Now, in the past, I have blamed that person. I've blamed all the people who have been mean to me or horrible to me. I don't blame them anymore. More than that, I've forgiven them. Blame is dangerous. And yes, people do evil things. They do. There's no question. And they should, in the certain circumstances, be made to pay for that. When we're talking about relationships between each other, and one person is an absolutely horrid to the other person, or doesn't listen, or gaslights them, or hurts them physically, there is lots of opportunity that I've had in my life for me to blame these people. But blaming them means that they're inside of me still. I'm letting them, or I'm letting the thoughts about them take over in my head. I'm blaming them. I'm putting the blame on them. I'm directing my energy towards them. So I started to learn to forgive. And it's not easy. It's much easier just to keep blaming. It's braver to forgive because it's so complicated in my mind what I had to go through to forgive. But I want to say that just because you've forgiven a person who has done you wrong, it doesn't mean that you have to see them again. You don't have to have them in your life. It just means that you've broken a connection to them, that they're not center of attention in your mind anymore. And that is so freeing and so powerful for yourself and your heart and your soul. You're cleansed. You cleansed yourself of them, because the more you blame and the more energy you put into thinking about what they've done and how you have been a victim of them, the more they're still going to be in your life and be inadvertently controlling you. So forgiveness is challenging, and sometimes I've thought, no way, I've hated this person. Like I was saying, for 2 years, I couldn't stop thinking about what they'd done to me, and it became an obsession. Like my victimhood became an obsession. And it was hard to get out of, but slowly, little by little, it started to release with the help of what I was talking about before, distracting myself and making myself shine more, get stronger. So I don't blame them anymore. I can see that they have issues, problems. They wouldn't have treated me like that in the first place if they didn't have the brain that they have. But the forgiveness gives me peace. It feels like there's no hook anymore. And like I was saying earlier, sometimes my mind tries to jump me back in, self-sabotaging. But now I don't get hooked back into that unhealthy relationship cycle with them, even though they're not even in my life anymore. My brain reminds me about what happened, but not anymore. Not anymore. Now I'm stronger. I'm more grounded in reality rather than in my depressive thoughts. I wrote a few things down. Let me just check that I've said it all. The more you blame, the more you're still connected to the other person. Wash your hands of them and purify your thoughts. Get free from their energy. Shake it all out. If you're thinking about that, if you're having unhealthy thoughts about somebody, shake it all out, because it's only affecting you. It's only poisoning you at the end of it all. You know, they're off probably doing it to somebody else. So you've got to look after yourself. You've got to shake it out, stretch it out, walk it out, dance it out. Who likes dancing? I love it. Get me into an underground club listening to hard techno for me to sweat it out, with lots of sitting down in between the tracks these days. But it helps me to move the energy and move my thoughts through, so I'm not stagnant. And I can keep practicing forgiveness each day, because it's a practice. It is, it's a practice. But it's for you, it's not for them. It's for you to cut that cord that is in the ethereal world in between you. Keep cutting it and shaking it off like a dog would do. You know, a dog, after it's had a little tiff with a littermate or anything, dogs constantly shake to get rid of the energy that they had a minute ago that they don't want anymore, the situation. We can do this with strong and powerful. I don't want me to stay in that victim mentality. It's important that we keep flourishing, and the seed is planted and it's pure and it's full of life, and we just want to keep growing in the right circumstances. And to grow, we need to let go of the past and forgive. And forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves. I give you permission, forgive yourself. Yeah. Okay, that's it. I just wanted to talk about blame for a moment. It's a work in progress. Please feel free to write your thoughts down. Write anything useful that can help others. I'd love to hear from you. And I wish you a happy Saturday and a lovely, lazy Sunday. Oh, if anybody is watching tonight, I am doing some harp tomorrow, some live harp over on Insight Timer at 8 o'clock GMT time. So I'll leave the link below. If you want to catch it and have some live harp tomorrow, then I'll be around. And I will do some live harp on YouTube at some point, for sure. But for now, sending you lots and lots of love. Go well and shine on, okay? You sparkly star.